Marvel and DC Comics editor-in-chief have both made dueling statements in the last few days about AI and opposing AI. And so this is pretty wild. I don't know what's going on with this. I know in the comic book industry, the comic book artists are very, very panicked, and they should be, because AI often does a lot of work better than them, and it's going to continue to get better, and it's going to continue to be awesome. And I can't wait because I got to tell you, I'm a comic creator, and that's what I do. This is my AI-centric channel, which I appreciate, and I hope you're hitting the like and subscribe button if you're new to this. But I've made, 13 graphic novels. I've got 9 in development. I've had a few that have had starts and stops and not gotten completed. And it's tough because artists are expensive. I've probably spent over $60,000 in comic book art this year just getting my comic book business going. And my hope this year actually was to have a few that I could be crowdfunding and actually get into people's hands. Well, none of them got done. And a lot of that is, some of it's just because, art takes time. Some of it is because artists gave me excuses and just didn't get things done. And it sucks because if I have a 60-page graphic novel or whatnot, and an artist does 40 pages of it and disappears, which has happened multiple times, and I'm paying $200 a page for that, that's a lot of money, and it's just not done. And then you can't really wrap it up with another artist because the different style is there, right? And so you kind of get stuck as as you're looking at things, and then you're out money, and you got to just hound that same artist and just hope they come back. And that's been a struggle. Not only that, but artists don't always do things consistently, as much as AI doesn't quite do things consistently to do comics yet. It is something that AI is a functional, useful thing that could make things better in the future. Now, I've got one artist, actually, who is embracing this, that I'm working on with a comic and a comic script, that he is a traditional artist himself, and he does art himself, and he's actually learning the AI tools, which is what you need to do, honestly. I mean, you guys, these people can fight AI all they want, but AI is here. It's not going away, and people are going to use it, and those who use the tools properly are going to get way more productive and just better at it as it goes along. Now, what he's doing with his AI tools is pretty neat, and I'll show it to you right now. He's, like I said, an artist himself, and as you can see, he's got his rough pencil sketches, which he does. He does by hand, and then he goes over and has AI ink and just do finishes. Now, AI doesn't always do it consistently, and he has to go back and edit it and fix it that way, but that saves him hours and hours of time that he would have had to do that with before. And since he does the layouts, he does all the characters, he does all the look of it, it ends up looking pretty consistent and pretty cool. Now, this is a comic that we're going to be doing with that sort of assistance right there. And honestly, I'm thrilled for that. If I can get books done faster and more cheaply and have it out so I can tell my stories more, that's going to be a barrier to entry that, like I said, I've got $60,000 in art this year, and I wasn't even able to crowdfund a comic to do it. So this is a great use of art, and this is not the only artist I've heard doing the inks over things like this with AI. It's not something, again, there's a misnomer that people just go, give me a comic, and then it spits out a comic that's like done and good. That's not possible. With what AI does, it is possible to do something like this where it does very high quality work on top of something like this is the prompting that's being done, right? And you have to put in a lot of work into it just to get this, right? And that's how real AI work is done. And that's where these guys are way off the mark in what they're doing. But it might not even be about quality. It might not even be about protecting artists. As much as they're making the statements to virtue signal to the artists, there might be a different reason that Marvel and DC Comics are actually opposing AI art, which is very, very interesting. So please hit the like and subscribe button. Join us. It's a pretty nice intro about comic art and AI. Pretty cool, huh? I am crowdfunding a science fiction novel trilogy because, again, I was not able to get any comics done this year. And so if you appreciate my thoughts on storytelling and my thoughts on different things, and you like science fiction, you're going to really enjoy this. Now, I did not use any AI in these books. This is a trilogy that I wrote myself over the last couple of years. Worked really, really hard on it. Have a real artist do all the covers on it. And if you love that classic science fiction feel, like exploring strange new worlds, the sense of wonder, this is going to be for you. Check it out. Support our channel. It's in the description below. And yeah, we're building like pretty cool art over here independently because, this is a spot where the gatekeepers of Marvel Comics, which is Disney, and DC Comics, which is Warner Brothers, are keeping it to a tight-knit group of people. and it's all nepotism in there, and all those people want to retain their jobs, and that's why they're all so fearful about AI, because they know that this is coming and this is going to be better than anything they can do. And because of that, they want these companies to just explicitly state that AI is bad. They want the conventions to ban AI. They're out there causing problems across things. And so DC had to make a statement and made a policy about artificial intelligence this week. And this is what they said about this. That DC Comics will not support AI-generated storytelling or artwork now or in the future. He emphasizes the irreplaceable value of human creativity, effort, and authenticity in comic creation. So these are always the exact same arguments we see. Oh, it's going to be soulless if you do that. It never is, though, right? Because there's always a human actually working at the helm of it and actually doing something with it. So you can have somebody who really works hard on the AI art and actually does a great job, like my artist is doing right now. Or you could have somebody that just goes into like Grok and goes like this, which is what they're acting like everybody's doing. Make me a comic book page. And what are you going to get out of this, right? Are you going to get anything that even has some sort of semblance of a story or anything like that? No. Here it is. I'm not going to let you get away with this. I'm not going to let you get away with this. I'm not going to let you get away with this. That's what they're acting like it is. But if this is all that a comic book page can do, and if this is what it actually was, why are they throwing a fit about it and having to make statements about it? It's obviously not the case, because they know that it's this that they're actually making statements about, which is, by the way, this guy put hours into this. This is not this. Each one of these is him actually programming each panel one by one to actually fill in and do the inks and do the filling over it. Then he has to go back and edit it because the AI does his own imperfections and he has to make it consistent. So it's still hours into this every single page. So there's a lot of work put into it. This is obviously, and so it's conflating these two intentionally to be like, oh, this is the human soul's just not there. Well, it is here, and so this artist is pretty dang valid and doing things right. But of course, that's not enough, because these people just don't want the technology there, because they know that they can be lazy right now and take, however long they take, and that people who are going to use tools like this are going to be able to do things a lot faster and a lot more consistent and better than them. And because of that, they don't want those people to usurp their jobs. It's all about gatekeeping. That's all it's about. And so this is where they go, and this is what they're talking about. And as they go through, they talk about different things. He entertained the idea of commissioning AI to recreate his art style to be owned by his estate after his death, but that seems to be on the back burner. DC has to deal with a number of artists using AI in their work, and they pointed out that rather than as a moral or ethical basis, it's more to do with ownership. And so this is the reason that they're interested about this. DC likes to own the work they publish, and if it could be proved it was AI, well, DC wouldn't own it anymore. It would be public domain. Now, that's not entirely true. Again, if I just put this out there, this is a public domain thing that you could edit and do whatever, because it is entirely AI generated. This here would be not public domain, because this is human created, and even though AI tools were used to an assistance with it, the AI is transformative enough on the human level that you would not be able to then just take that as public domain. That's what the rulings are. Now, of course, they're worried on a different level because they have the IPs like Batman, Superman, etc., and they are very scared about those IPs because they are just milking other people's IPs. This is the other ridiculous part about talking about the human creators and the human whatever is so important. They're literally just taking dead people's IPs and then making fan fiction about them and trying to keep them mostly the same for their corporate so that they can be used in movies and the like and be held as an IP farm. They're pretty soulless entertainment at Marvel and DC Comics to begin with. They're not actually making characters that are making stories that really say anything and are changing and doing anything anyway. It's ridiculous. We've all been seeing these unsettling knockoffs of Mickey Mouse lurking around online, but here's the truth. The character isn't the magic. The storytelling is. Absolutely. The world building is. Owning Superman isn't the same as understanding Superman. Absolutely true. And this is why DC doesn't make good Superman. They don't understand what Superman is. It's called fan fiction. There's nothing wrong with fan fiction. It shows how deeply these characters live inside of us. But remember, these are just licensed fan fiction at these companies. They try to poo-poo fan fiction, saying that other people can't do it because only the corporation that has the trademark is okay with that. it's really, you want to talk about soulless, and you want to talk about a dystopia. Our current IP law is a soulless dystopia that only protects corporations. You can see this in the recent Claude lawsuit with Anthropic on how this is, that my works and all that were pirated by Claude, but I am not qualified for the suit because I didn't file an official U.S. copyright like most corporations do, because I just don't have the funds and time to do that. I don't have a lawyer on file for my books and things like that. So since that is the case, I don't have the protection. I'm not going to get anything out of the suit. Only the corporations are going to, right? This is the dystopia that we're at right now. And so, of course, as that happened, Marvel got pressure to do the exact same thing. And they said that they do not use or support AI-generated work. Marvel actively detects and severs ties with artists who are using AI in their submissions. This is crazy because it's already the standard, right? And then 2, DC maintains a strict policy against it, and both publishers' bans are driven more by ownership and legal issues than by ethical concerns. And so they really, in their statements, did not say they cared about the artists or anything like that. They really just, and the people there, but they're doing those statements only for the people there so they don't riot against them because they know they'd be in trouble if that was the case. It's all gatekeeping. Their anti-AI stances by these corporations is all about just making sure that there's a barrier to entry for people like myself to be able to just, instead of doing a comic a year or whatever because it costs me so much money, I could do 10 because in the same amount of money. Well, that'd be cool. Then I have the same sort of stock they do, and my characters are my own. They develop. They're not just IP holders like they are, so they can't compete with that, and they know that. So they want to hold down the competition, and that's always what the gatekeepers are about when all these publishers always come out against AI and the like. Very interesting stuff. Very interesting that both companies ended up saying this. What do you guys think about this? Please leave a comment down below. Love to hear from you. And check out my new science fiction series. This is called Valiant Frontiers. It's amazing stuff. This is what the publishing industry won't give you. And I appreciate you guys for checking it out. Support our channel. Support human art. Yeah, right? And we'll be back soon.